Today, I'm taking on the challenge of letting my faith be bigger than my feelings, no matter what comes my way. Faith and feelings, two things that often go head to head in our minds and hearts. While our feelings can be intense and overwhelming, our faith is what anchors us to a higher truth. But when our emotions get the best of us, it's easy to let them guide our decisions, rather than our faith. Today, I want to talk about the importance of prioritizing faith, even when it feels hard to do so. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a cycle of emotional turmoil? One minute you're up, the next you're down, and it's hard to make sense of what's going on. That's what happens when our feelings overshadow our faith. We start to question everything, wondering if we're on the right path or if we've made a mistake. It's like being lost in a dark forest, with no clear direction forward. The truth is, our emotions can be deceiving. They can make us feel like we're doing the right thing, when in reality, we're heading down a path of self-destruction. I've been there, too, feeling like I'm following my heart, only to realize later that I was actually following my fears or my pride. When we let our emotions dictate our decisions, we open ourselves up to confusion, doubt, and even more uncertainty. It's a vicious cycle, and one that's hard to break free from. But there's hope. When we choose to prioritize our faith, we start to see things more clearly. We begin to understand that our emotions are just that, emotions, and they don't have to control us. We can rise above them, making decisions that align with our values and our goals. Have you ever noticed how often your feelings can mislead you? Like when you feel anxious about a situation, but it ends up working out perfectly fine? Or when you feel like giving up on a dream, only to find out later that it was just around the corner. Our feelings can be misleading, and they often are. That's why it's so important to keep our eyes fixed on our faith, rather than our emotions. I remember a time when I was struggling to trust God with a particular situation in my life. I felt like I was walking through a desert, with no end in sight. But as I chose to focus on my faith, rather than my feelings, I started to see things shift. I started to see that God was working everything out for my good, even when it didn't feel like it. And that realization brought me so much peace and comfort. When we choose to let faith be bigger than our feelings, we open ourselves up to a whole new level of freedom and breakthrough. We start to see that our emotions are just a small part of the equation, and that our faith is what truly sets us free. I've seen this play out in my own life, and I've seen it in the lives of others. When we prioritize our faith, we start to live a life that's marked by peace, joy, and confidence. So what's the takeaway from today's conversation? It's simple: faith is what anchors us to a higher truth. It's what sets us free from the whims of our emotions and helps us make decisions that align with our values and our goals. When we choose to let faith be bigger than our feelings, we start to live a life that's marked by purpose, direction, and clarity. I want to hear from you. Have you ever struggled to let faith be bigger than your feelings? How did you overcome that struggle? Share with me in the comments below. And if you're looking for more content on building stronger faith, be sure to check out my next video, where I'll be sharing more on this topic. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.